Hello, everybody, and welcome live to the World Racing Network for tonight's broadcast of the Master Millwright Big Block Series in total nonstop racing at Knoxville Speedway here tonight for another round of some exciting dirt racing here with what we hope is a working broadcast. I am Mitchell Adams, and joining me again this week in the booth, hopefully now you can hear him, is Will Ratcliffe. And Will,
Howdy.
I can hear you. Hoping everybody else can. We'll just have to see. But they're rolling into qualifying right now. We're waiting to see some drivers on track. Here we go. Here's some takers out here on track as we'll pull the ticker up. Want to welcome you all back once again this week. I hope you all had a good week since the last time we raced. Looking on track right now at Thomas Oleski, your third place finisher last week, if memory serves me right, out for his qualifying laps here at Knoxville. I'm excited for this race, Will. Get to call another dirt race. Knoxville, a very fun track, I think, to watch. It's going to provide a bit of a challenge for these drivers, but I think overall we're going to get to see some great racing here tonight. As you can see the qualifying results up toward the top of your screen. Currently, it is John Smith here, the number 504, who is sitting up on top of the speed charts. But, Will, it's going to be a really good broadcast. I hope everyone out there in chat is having a good night so far, and we're going to get ready to watch some great racing here.
Indeed, that.
Yeah, look.
And
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I'm kind of interested because, as you know, this is broadcast number 3, and real working broadcast number 1, pretty much. But yes, that's true. The last time was quite interesting. But I'm interested because this is much bigger of a track, it looks like, compared to the last time.
Well, I wish I knew that number off the top of my head. I hate to say that I don't. But Lanier, I believe, is about a quarter of a mile. Knoxville it is a larger track. I don't know the exact number on it. But it is definitely a bit of a larger track. Some higher speeds here tonight. Is out on track right now. We've got Bobby Trapper in the number 69, who had a strong run last week. The only driver out on track right now, and, well, looks like he's about done with this run. And up toward the wall. Okay, we do have somebody to keep us entertained here while we're just sitting here. Bobby Puckett.
The Bobbies.
Yeah, Bobby had a very strong run last week. Led a lot of it until a late race incident took him out of contention. He's going to spin it off there. Almost flipped it over. A little bit of a Harrison Burton move if you watch the Daytona 500. I know you did, Will.
I did.
Yeah, it was quite the exciting race. For me, nobody I liked was in it at the end, so I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to see this big blocks racing here tonight in the Total Nonstop Racing League. Of course, we got to take a moment here while qualifying is just getting wrapped up to thank all the series sponsors of the Master Millwright Big Block Series here in the Total Nonstop Racing League. We've got Master Millwright, of course, your title sponsor of the series for design, build, install, and service. That is Master Millwright. And Mason Dixon Cornhole, also a sponsor of the series. We're glad to have both of them on board, and you can check out the Total Nonstop Racing League on their Facebook link, which is provided in the description below. So I do hope you will check them out. But right now, again, it's pretty quiet. Not much time left here in qualifying as you see a car go by on the road. I just got this track, actually, for this broadcast, so I've gotten to see some new stuff, Will, and we got a road back there in the back, so a lot to look forward to here at Knoxville, including the off-track sites, as there's a gas station too. But fast lap times here as qualifying is about 20 seconds till being over. I don't see anyone else on track, so I'll go ahead and take you through your results. Of course, they are scrolling through at the top of the screen as well RJ Packer topped the charts with a 19.754. John Smith qualifies second. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm sorry. The driver in the number 74, Loic Bernier, I'm sorry, qualifies third. And it just took my standings away from me, so that's as far as we're gonna get for now. Getting ready to go into Heat 1.
So it seems like they only take about 1 or 2 laps for qualifying. Is that normal?
Yeah, it is 2 laps of qualifying. That's pretty standard amount of qualifying laps on an oval. As they are getting gridded up for Heat 1, or they should be getting gridded up for Heat 1 anytime now. Just waiting to see some cars. But yeah, 2 laps of qualifying here at Knoxville. Get a look around the track here while we wait for the cars to grid up for Heat 1. Here we go. We've got some takers here. It's not showing me the standings, of course, but it looks like the number 30 of none other than Thomas Oleski looks to be leading this field of green. And remember, there's an inverted start here. Oh, we do have Garrett Gleason in the chat. I don't want to forget Garrett saying he can hear both of us. We're glad to hear it, Garrett, and glad you're here joining us. It is Thomas Oleski leading the field of green, the 69 of Bobby Trapper up to his outside. That'll make up your front row, and there is an inverted start. I think I was just getting to that. So top 3 in qualifying, I believe, go to the back for these heats is how it works. Is iRacing pace car, I do believe, is heading down the pits this time. No, I take it back. iRacing pace car is not headed down pit road this time. So 1 lap to green here in Knoxville. Of course, we got some pretty cool shots here. We can take you on board. This is the number 30 of Bobby. Thomas Oleski, excuse me. In the number 30, we've got this camera that we will utilize some tonight. Things happen very fast here. Speaking of things happening fast, we are green flag, but trouble for the number 27. He got kind of up on the wall there, but we stay green, as that was before the green, and it is the number 69 of Bobby Trapper, who's gotten out front early here in front of Thomas Oleski in the number 30. RJ Packer currently running third. Austin Allen in the 27 is fourth. John Cannizzaro Sr. fifth, and Tony Lucarelli sixth are the drivers making up Heat 1 here as they round it. Turns 3 and 4. They're in a 10-lap heat here, Will. Already a lot of action early on.
Yes, and I like to see that they are pretty competitive already. You know, right off the line there, they were kind of pushing at each other. And you can see them right now. They're right on their tail. 27 is right on 507's tail.
Yep. Austin Allen there in the 27 giving a little bit of a fight to RJ Packer. Packer in the wall. They're headed into turn. I believe that's turn 1. I've kind of gotten my turns mixed up here as you see him headed down there. Get a sense of the speed down into the turn as there comes a move from the 27 of Austin Allen. No can do, though, down the front straightaway. The run from Packer up on the high line holds him off so far. Just show you quickly up front, not much going on for this battle for the lead. It's all Bobby Trapper up front right now. The battle is back here for the 3rd position. 507 of RJ Packer and 27 of Austin Allen. Behind them, I will get a little shot here is Tony Lucarelli and John Cannizzaro Sr., not to be confused with John Cannizzaro Jr. I'm sure I'll mix them up at some point tonight. Already on lap 6 of 10, though, Will. The heat flying by, and here is a little bit of a battle between Lucarelli and Cannizzaro. Same thing up here. The 507 loses control of his race car a little bit through the center. Give that position to Austin Allen in the number 27, moving up to the 3rd position now. Coming to 3 laps to go. Well, it is 3 laps to go this time. And up front, it is still all the 69 of Bobby Trapper. Thomas Oleski needs to make something happen pretty quick if he's going to want to get that position away from him. We'll ride on board with that number 30 of Thomas Oleski. You can see just how much he's working the wheel as they come to take the white flag lap in heat number 1. No, I'm mistaken here. They come to take the white flag lap in heat number 1, but you can see just how much he has to counter steer through the corner to get this thing to turn right. It's really impressive, especially for me. I'm not much of a dirt racer, so when I see how hard these guys work, it's very impressive. Out front, though, going to be the 69 of Bobby Trapper coming around this time to take the win in heat number 1. Bobby Trapper with a great showing. Thomas Oleski comes across the line second. 27 of Austin Allen finishes in the 3rd position. RJ Packer held on to 4th. And it took away my standings again, but I believe it was John Cannizzaro Sr. and Tony Lucarelli rounding out the field in the 6th position as we get Heat 2 underway. So already 1 heat underway. Will, a lot of great racing early on, and there's just plenty more of that to come with a couple more heats and the feature race left to go here at Knoxville Speedway.
Yes, I agree with your point on how impressive it is to drive like this. I mean, watching some of the NASCAR races, like you mentioned, to watch Daytona 500, of course, that is an insane amount of skill as well. But seeing the tightrope of spinning out versus not making the corner, is kind of startling. When you're just sitting there watching and you're like, well, are they gonna make it? Are they gonna make it? And then, of course, because these guys are great, they do.
Yeah, a bunch of very talented drivers here in this series and throughout all of the Total Nonstop Racing League, which again you can check out in the Facebook link down in the description. As we wait for all the drivers to get gridded up again, you gotta thank your series sponsor, Master Millwright, on the screen right now, for sponsoring the Big Block series here. And racing, getting ready to go back underway here. We've got cars on the track. There is the number 3 of John Cannizzaro Jr. You're looking at him now, though. It's the 72, of Fisher is going to lead the field to green. Again, I'm working without the standings. This is something I got to fix here for all of you folks at home. Again, glad all of you are joining us once again this week for some great racing action. I've enjoyed it so far, Will. I'm sure you have too, as pace car lights are off. Got Dirt Dog 93 saying like the feed, thank you. John Cannizzaro Jr. not happy for some reason in the chat. We'll see what he does here. And again, Johnny Williams, good luck and hello to the booth. Hello, Johnny. We're glad you're tuning in. And to all the rest of you watching, we're glad to have you with us here on this Tuesday night for some dirt racing action. The field's working their way through turns 3 and 4. I'm having more trouble, Will, than I'm used to telling which turn is which. Maybe it's because I really haven't seen much of Knoxville Raceway. That is turn 4, though, because there goes the iRacing pace truck. And here comes the field in the hands of the 72. Oh, John Cannizzaro Jr., though, on the high line. Got a good restart. Ethan Fisher, though, not able to hold that position. John Cannizzaro Jr. down the back straightaway, able to take the race lead away as you see the field working their way through 3 and 4. Pretty spread out single file early on, though the battle is going to be on for that race lead pretty soon between the 72, the 3. Don't count out the 10 car of Zane Burke there. The 484 of Eric Bonham is there in the 4th position, and the 044 of Eric Ziga rounds out this Field 4 heat number 2. Up front, still John Cannizzaro Jr., though, as the field hits lap 3.
I'm impressed by Cannizzaro so far. He took that really early lead there going around number 72 and has kept that up this entire time so far.
Yeah, pretty solid start to this heat for John Cannizzaro Jr. out front, riding on board with Ethan Fisher. driver of the number 72. You see him right behind Cannizzaro. Started this heat on the pole in the very first position. Not the greatest of starts, though, for Ethan Fisher, but he's going to set his sights right back on John Cannizzaro Jr. for that race lead. Look a little bit back in the field. It's pretty much spread out for now. There, oh, it's the 4 of Eric Bonham. No, it is 484. Threw me off with the small numbers. And then I do see, is John Smith? John Smith is out on the track now, also 4 laps down. Looks like he missed the start of this heat. John Smith is out on the racetrack, but we're looking at the battle right now between the 3 of John Cannizzaro Jr. and the number 72 of Ethan Fisher headed into turn 1. The field taking 4 to go that last time by the line. Cannizzaro Jr. took the lead on the very start of this heat, and Ethan Fisher now wants it back. Coming to 3 laps to go this time. Can he set up the move? Well, he fell back maybe 2 car lengths there, but headed into turn 1 the last time. Those 2 were side by side, so we'll see if that number 72 can mount some kind of a charge here in the final laps.
Yeah, he was looking aggressive there for a moment, but kind of backed off here in these last 2 laps. And kind of looks a little loose right behind him.
Yeah, that's just kind of how these drivers have to slide around here on the dirt. It's a very difficult skill to master. These 2 up front, of course, doing a very good job of it. Coming to take the white flag this time by John Cannizzaro Jr. Leads the field into turn 1 and 2. The 72 is still there, though. We will see if he can make a move this time by. That's not a great camera, iRacing. This is a better one. Headed through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The 72 tries to get a low exit off the corner. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It is the 3 of John Cannizzaro taking the win over Ethan Fisher. Zane Burke finishes in the 3rd position. Eric Bonham finishes 4th. Eric Ziga 5th. And John Smith rounds out the field after missing the start in the 6th position. As well, there's another race, Will, underway. Here we go. For all, we'll see if it is Heat 3 or the race. My thing is telling me we are about to go feature racing, but I thought we had more cars that needed to run in heats. I think this should be Heat 3. Yes, it is Heat 3. So Heat 3 getting gridded up while we take a little look around Knoxville Speedway again. A lot of cool stuff to see. Drivers get ready to start. Here they go on track. Let's take that off of there. Looking number 95 out there, trying to see who is up there. It is Brian Rubel, who looks like he'll be taking pole position for this race over the 20 of Jason Freeman. And that Mason Dixon Cornhole machine. Of course, we've got to thank series sponsor Mason Dixon Cornhole for sponsoring the TNR Big Blocks series here. Of course, on the machine in the number 20 of Jason Freeman. Thank you, Jason, for reminding me to give that shout out. Number 95 of Gaston there. And number 41 of Bobby Puckett round out the cars I am seeing on track here for heat number 3 here from Knoxville Raceway. This should be a good one. Brian Rubel there in the number 4. Winner of last week's race at Lanier. So look for Rubel to have a strong run here in the heat. iRacing pace truck down pit road, green flag in the air. Brian Rubel on the gas, leads the field into turn 1. Look at Jason Freeman, though, on the outside with the huge run. Here comes Freeman on the outside. Jason Freeman takes the lead into turn 3 over Brian Rubel. So not been a good start here for the pole position drivers here in the last 2 heats. I forget if the leader maintained the lead in heat 3. But there is Brian Rubel, fell back to the 2nd position. He's got Bobby Puckett in the 3rd position. Jonathan Gaston running 4th. This is 4-car heat here. in heat number 3. Got a nice little gaggle of cars here, though. The number 95 trying to make a pass on the number 41 of Puckett. Doesn't look like he's going to make it happen, though. Through those turns, try and set something else up. Down the front stretch, taking lap 4 of 10 here in heat 3, Will.
Yeah, and Freeman making a little bit of a gap out there, and then Rubel just behind him. Kind of interested to see if Rubel will pull out a win here at the end to set himself up for a good race.
Brian Rubel is maybe catching Jason Freeman just a little bit. The 20 car, though, looks to be doing pretty good there. Out for the race lead. The battle on track is this battle for the 3rd position between Bobby Puckett and Jonathan Gaston here. Already halfway through heat number 3, then we should be feature racing here from Knoxville Speedway. Here goes the number 95 of Gaston underneath Bobby Puckett. Will he be able to make it stick? Doesn't look like it. Down the front straightaway. It seems like the outside lane is where these drivers are wanting to be here tonight, Will. The inside lane just seems like it's a little more difficult to get the car hooked up and rotating through the corner like they need it to be. They're not on the maximum high lane, which would be right up by that wall. These drivers definitely leaving a lot of room to the inside, so that's kind of where we can see the speed is. Of course, the dirt does not reset here in the Total Nonstop Racing Big Block series like it does in other dirt racing series. The dirt stays the same all night long. Well, I shouldn't say that. The dirt does not get readjusted by iRacing. The only adjusting it does is the natural adjustment that it would at any local dirt track. So very realistic track conditions as we ride on board with Bobby Puckett. Trying to run down Brian Rubel for the 2nd position. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it happen, though, as they come out of turn 4. No, excuse me, out of turn 2. Mix up my turns yet again. Out front, though, Jason Freeman is scooting away with a pretty sizable race lead as we just took the white flag. So last lap this time around for Jason Freeman. Doesn't look like he's going to be getting any kind of a challenge from Bobby Puckett. We will watch this battle for the 3rd position here down to the line. It is going to be Brian Rubel in the 2nd position. Excuse me. Brian Rubel finishes 2nd. Well, I lost my standings again, but I do believe it was Bobby Puckett in the 3rd position. We are already rolling into the feature race. I apologize for that. Caught me off guard a little bit here, but Will, the heat races are done. We are getting ready for our 35-lap feature race. This is where it really starts to get good here. You can see the field starting to get gridded up for this race.
I'm excited. I'm curious to see how Rubel's going to fare, if he's going to pull out another win, or if he's lacking tonight and falling behind as opposed to Freeman and Cannizzaro.
Yeah, it seemed like he had pretty good speed. Definitely it was all Jason Freeman in that heat number 3. See the 41, I do believe. Excited to get out on track. That's Bobby Puckett. See if we can get a better look at Bobby, not blocked by the pace car. Well, here is the field. This is a nice camera shot going out onto the racetrack. 17-car field here for your feature race tonight at Knoxville in the Total Nonstop Racing Master Millwright Big Block Series. Looks like it is going to be the 507 there of RJ Packer leading the field to green here in this 35-lap feature race. Bobby Puckett starts from the 2nd position. Zane Burke in the number 10, 4th. Austin Allen will start 4th. Last week's winner, Brian Rubel, starts 5th. Ethan Fisher starts this race off 6th. Thomas Oleski will begin the race in 7th. Jason Freeman, winner of Heat 3, will roll off in the 8th position. John Cannizzaro. Which Cannizzaro is that? That's Junior, starting 9th. Bobby Trapper starts 10th here. Eric Bonham will start the race off in the 11th position. Jonathan Gaston, 12th. Tony Lucarelli, 13th. Eric Ziga, 14th. John Canizaro Sr. 16th. I see Locke Bernier. He's in the 15th position. And John Smith 17th will round out your starting grid here. As there goes the iRacing pace truck down pit road, leaving the field in the hands of the 507 of RJ Packer. Good start on the outside, though, for Bobby Puckett. Headed into turn one side by side. As some fireworks are going off. 507, not a very good restart. You can see it there. Already down to the third position. It's going to be Bobby Puckett and Zane Burke. Not Zane Burke, that's Austin Allen in the 27, who got up to fight for the race win. But we have a caution out on the racetrack. We will go see if we can figure out what exactly was the cause of that one here. Looks like a bunch of cars are jumbled up here in the middle of the track. We're looking at possibly somewhere in here. They were 5 wide. See the 4 Brian Rubel gets up track 72 into the wall. Well, we may not have quite caught it there, but field getting ready to go back green, I believe. So we've got to get caught back up. I don't know if that was exactly what the caution was, Will, but back live here. Sorry, folks, if we did miss that one. It is RJ Packer leading the field right now, with Bobby Puckett in the second position, Zane Burke third, Austin Allen fourth, according to my scoring. Let's see. It does. Yes, that is the case. iRacing pace truck lights are off. Will, we're getting ready to go back racing.
Yeah, and it does give all these guys a better chance at a start, because we had a little bit of a bad start for some of them before.
Yeah, especially the 507 there of RJ Packer. Of course, he ended up back in the lead somehow, but we are getting ready to take lap 1 again. So I think basically what's happened here is they are restarting the race because they did not make it around a full lap, I believe is what is going on, because caution laps do not count here, as that is a much, much better start there for RJ Packer in the 507, as he is going to get out into the race lead. I hear a lot of cars bumping and banging back behind him, as the field, though, seems to be playing a little bit nicer here on the start of this race. This is the battle right here. Ooh, contact between the 69 of Bobby Trapper, and who is that there? I'm struggling to make out a number on that car. Is it... No, not John Canizaro Jr. Whoever's driving the X is throwing me off. I don't know exactly who it is. Ooh, we got some aggressive racing. There's another. That's going to be a wreck. Caution flag is out, and we are going to go take a look back at that one, Will. A lot happened right there. We got to go take a look back at here. As we load up the replay for you all at home. Watching the 69. I think this wreck took place. Oh, it was up in front of him a little bit. Bobby Puckett in the 41 made some contact. We'll go back and take a look at that one. Here again. You see Puckett up actually battling for the race lead. Gets into the back of the 507, 72, 69, 27. Then they're all kind of piling into it there. And that is going to bring out our second caution of the night here at Knoxville Raceway. And as we look back live, I believe the 41 is receiving some kind of into the line penalty here for that incident. Look, it is still RJ Packer up front, though, as all that chaos happened right behind him. iRacing pace truck lights are off, so 1 lap to go and we're going green again.
Yeah, it's the inevitable problem with trying to be aggressive and trying to maintain your stability.
Yeah, I mean, he gave it his great shot. He did about what he thought he had to do, and he was being aggressive, trying to push that number 507. Just gave it a little bit too much. I have Johnny Williams in the chat saying the X is Zane Burke. Thank you, Johnny, out there in the chat for filling me in. Now we know, but here we are back green again. Another really good start for the 507 of RJ Packer into turn 1 and 2. It is all Packer in front of the 72 of Ethan Fisher as the field once again makes their way into turns 3. Yellow flag is actually back out on the track again. Let's go on the little hunt for the yellow, as I am deeming it here. Let's see. It's the challenge, Will. I gotta find where stuff happens here tonight. Let's see. We're searching. Don't see it. Go back again. Look around a little more. It was a curious yellow. Okay, here we go. Here's something. On the restart. Possibly. Well, it's the blinking 044 there. Let's see. Let's switch to 95 car here and find a better camera angle. 044. Eric Ziga up into the wall. Blinking, which kind of takes away from the replay, but that is your second yellow. Eric Ziga up into the wall on the restart. Will bring out your latest caution here on the racetrack, and we see him still out on track. Looks like the blinking's gone away just a little bit. He's back in the 13th position. Again, Will, caution laps do not count here in the Total Nonstop Racing Big Block Series, so don't worry, folks. These laps are not taking away from the 35 laps we have here in the races. Perfect timing, Will. We're getting ready to go back green.
Awesome, and I'll bet that wreck was probably just them not knowing where to expect him to be, number 044.
Yeah, that can kind of be one of the bigger challenges in sim racing, not just iRacing, is when someone starts blinking out, that is their connection to the server not doing so well, and there's nothing you can do about that. It's just kind of a factor we race with, but green flag is back out, and it is another great start for RJ Packer. He is learning from his mistake on that very first restart and has been dominant on the restarts after that thus far in the race.
Yeah, and 72 staying right behind him, and as well as Freeman just on his tail, who was doing really well in the third heat, which we remember. And Canizaro just behind him, who did awesome in the second heat.
Oh, Ethan Fisher tried to slide up in front of the 507 of RJ Packer. Was not quite clear, but they stayed green, but that'll put Packer down to the 4th position. So slight job, not quite gone to plan, but it worked out well enough for the 72 of Ethan Fisher, who now finds himself up in the race lead. He does have Jason Freeman behind him challenging for that position a little bit farther in the pack. We have a nice little battle of cars here. There goes John Smith making it 3 wide. Maybe no, they settled it down a little bit. Last week's race winner Brian Rubel finds himself in the middle of this chaos. Rubel actually, let me see. No, never mind, my scoring was lying to me. I thought he had the fastest lap of the race. That is not what the purple is. There is a nice battle, though, between John Canizaro Sr. and Jonathan No, Eric Ziga, excuse me, in the 044. Sorry, Eric. Back here for the 14th position. Canizaro Sr. looking to make it happen, maybe. Looking back up front, though, it is a gaggle here toward the front of the field, where Jason Freeman has now taken the race lead while we were looking around through the field. So Jason Freeman now leads John Canizaro Jr., not Senior there, in the 2nd position. Ethan Fisher now down to 3rd. as the field comes around, takes lap 11 of 35 here. So now we're getting some green flag running in. As you see, John Cannizzaro pretty close to your leader, Jason Freeman. We'll take a look and ride on board with John Cannizzaro Jr. there in the number 3 car, running in second place. He has right behind him... Oh, that is wrong camera. This is the right camera. The 72 of Ethan Fisher. He goes a little bit into the wall. I'll tell you what, folks. This one might be a little bit better of a shot looking out the back of John Cannizzaro Jr. on the 72 of Ethan Fisher. And it really gives you a sense kind of how they're sliding it around through these corners. I absolutely love the onboard shots that we have here on the World Racing Network. You see John Cannizzaro, though, getting pretty close to Jason Freeman, but it'll have to wait because we are under caution once again here in this race. We're going to go play the caution game once again, folks. Oh, I found it pretty quick. I'm pretty proud of myself here. All right. Let's go back here. Looking live. Well, not live. On the replay. Here's the 4 of Brian Rubel. Contact from behind from the 504 of John Smith, and last week's winner, Brian Rubel, up on his side. Keeps it rolling, though, through the turn, but that is going to be the cause of this last caution, as we're going to jump back up live. That can be just kind of the difficulty sometimes here on this track, Will. It can be tough to judge how much your opponents are going to slow up, especially on a short track where you are running so close with everyone. So just a little misjudgment from the 504s. It looks like John Smith maybe moving toward the rear of the field. Not quite sure if he's just falling back into position, but a lot of excitement up front. Like we said there during that last run, put Jason Freeman in the number 20 car out in the race lead, leading John Cannizzaro Jr. In the number 2, Ethan Fisher in the 3rd position. Thomas Oleski, who finished in the top 3. We got to talk to him last week in the 4th position. And Austin Allen in the 27. Haven't talked about him much in the feature. Good run in the heats, though. And Allen is up in the 5th position right now. RJ Packer is running 6th. And so these drivers not falling back too much because of all that. You see the 507 of RJ Packer, who led a lot early. He is tucked in the 6th position, so he's not too far off of the battle for the lead. But getting ready to go back green, Jason Freeman, his first restart from the 1st position. We will see how he fares here. Maybe his 2nd, I honestly don't remember. Pace truck is in. Good jump for Freeman. Cannizzaro thought he was going to be able to hang with the 20 of Jason Freeman, but he slots in 2nd position as the field heads through turns 1 and 2.
Oh, a great pass by John Cannizzaro Jr. as he goes on the inside and the low, and now is battling still at the top as number 20, Jason Freeman, goes, and it almost had a wreck there. Just a moment.
Yeah, Cannizzaro threw the slider up on Jason Freeman. Jason Freeman gave it right back to him through turns 1 and 2. And now the 30 of Thomas Oleski is up into the race lead off a little bit of a bump on Jason Freeman as well. So we're getting physical here in this race for the lead. And all that, Oleski got a pretty nice gap on the field. Ethan Fisher and John Cannizzaro Jr. battling for the 2nd position. I'll sleep on Jason Freeman, too. There he is right back there on the inside, trying to fight back after not the greatest of restarts, not necessarily to his own doing, just the racing really got physical there up front. As you see him in a really good race right now with the number 3 of John Cannizzaro Jr. So we're going to ride along the racetrack a little bit. Another one of my favorite shots here. Just feel the speed as these cars go by. We're going to go quiet for just a minute and let you listen to the sound of these race cars as they make laps around the field. And we are back from our little break. I hope you enjoyed riding on board with John Cannizzaro and getting to listen to these cars a little bit. Thomas Oleski, still quite the lead. Well, not nearly as much of a lead. He does have the 72 of Ethan Fisher trying to get up there and challenge him for the race lead. I'm not sure. Fisher definitely making up some time. The best battle on track right now for the third position. Jason Freeman has it. A gaggle of cars won it. Bobby Trapper is the immediate challenger in the fourth position. John Cannizzaro Jr. right behind him in the fifth position. All challenging Freeman there. As you see the field go by once again. Coming out of turn 4. Cannizzaro looking to the inside of the number 69 of Bobby Trapper. Cannizzaro, can he make it stick? Doesn't look like it. That's been the challenge for these drivers all day, it seems like. It's just getting the cars to stick on corner exit. Seems to be the difficulty for a lot of these drivers. Is Cannizzaro going to slot back in? Here's Tony Lucarelli up into the 6th position. Haven't talked too much about Tony Lucarelli so far today. Very nice paint scheme on Tony Lucarelli. I believe that's Bagcraft that is sponsoring that number 12. Behind him, we've got the 27 of Austin Allen, who kind of got toward the front earlier, but struggling to make his way up there now. The 507 of RJ Packer, of course, led a lot of laps early, but kind of fallen through the field here as the laps have gone on. And Bobby Puckett in the 41. Strong run last week. Back in the 9th position so far. John Smith rounds out your top 10 right now. Zane Burke in the 11th position, battling with Eric Bonham in the X. Now we know. Well, now we know. Eric Bonham.
We do. And Oleski is keeping a nice lead up at the front.
Wait.
Followed.
It is not Eric Bonham. Dang it, they got me again. Every time I think I learn, I don't. Zane Burke in the X. You got me, Zane. You got me again, but 5 to go. Well, 6 to go. We're coming to 5 to go this time by. Up toward the front of the field where the battle for the race lead is on. Thomas Oleski has it. Ethan Fisher wants it on the bumper of the 30 of Oleski. Is Fisher with 5 laps to go this time. To the inside through turns 3 and 4. Can Fisher make it stick? He slides it up in front of the 30. Will it work? We will see. The crossover from Thomas Oleski down the front straightaway doesn't look like it's going to stick. Race lead to the 72 of Ethan Fisher with 4 laps to go in the race. And that is, this battle has brought Jason Freeman in the 20, Bobby Trapper in the 69, and John Cannizzaro Jr. in the 3 into the fight, as here comes Oleski fighting back out of turn 4. As the 69 went for a bit of a ride there out of the turn. He slots back into 4th, but here is... Oh, caution. Caution, 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 Will. That is going to shake up this race quite a bit.
Yes, it is. That lead with Oleski and Ethan Fisher is now quite not as significant.
Yes, it is, as I am playing the old find a caution game. It's not nearly the success that I've become accustomed to. Oh, there we go, Will. I did it. I did it. I'm proud of myself. Here we go, folks. Number 4, Eric Bonham. 484, Eric Bonham. 41, Bobby Puckett. Racing out of turn 4. Down the front straightaway. And the 484 just kind of slides up a little bit into the lane of the 41 of Puckett, bringing out this last caution. So we get to look at that nice new replay transition we have here, as well as this brand new nice logo we're debuting this week. All that came from Max Graphics. You can check them out at maxgraphics.co if you'd be interested. We have to throw out our little channel promo there. But again, while we're on promos, this is the Master Millwright Big Block Series in the Total Nonstop Racing League. You can check out Total Nonstop Racing on their link down in Facebook. If you are tired of me saying it, then I am doing my job, folks. And also have to thank Mason Dixon Cornhole for also sponsoring the league. They are on board the number 20 of Jason Freeman here tonight, who finds himself in the 3rd position. with the lights off on the pace car. We are going to go back green this time. With 3 laps to go, the 72 of Ethan Fisher on the loud pedal. A good start for the 72 of Fisher. Gets a little bit of a gap. Back to the 30 of Thomas Oleski, Jason Freeman. Keeping the pressure on the number 30, though, as they're going to come to 2 laps to go this time by. Not much time left if you are Thomas Oleski or Jason Freeman to go catch the 72 of Ethan Fisher. Your race leader as they go through turns 3 and 4. You see the 484 a little bit slow down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Nice little battle back here. The 69 of Bobby Trapper looking for the 3rd position on Jason Freeman. He's going to get it, but coming to 1 lap to go. It's all Ethan Fisher out front. 72 of Fisher having a nice run here toward the end of this race. Quite the gap back to Thomas Oleski in the 30. He needs a miracle to catch him. He is not going to. Race win is going to go to Ethan Fisher as the battle on for the 2nd position. Thomas Oleski edges out Bobby Trapper in one heck of a finish there, as some wrecking going on behind him here. We're going to go back. We're going to go back, Will, and we're going to digest all of what just happened on this final lap or so, because that was a lot to take in very quickly. So we are going to go look, first of all, at this battle right here. This was quite the battle. Find a good camera. There it is. This is the battle for the 2nd position in the closing laps. That's the 30 of Thomas Oleski has it. The 69 wants it. Coming to the checkered flag this time. No. Yes. Checkered flag this time. There comes the run from the 30 across the start-finish line to take that position. And then watch mayhem behind him. Bobby Puckett just seems to have had a magnet on his car tonight. Another little bit of a wreck there for Puckett. That's not what we want. This is more what we want. Oh, a little bit of contact. Here's your race winner, though. 72 of Ethan Fisher. As you see him, oh, he's going into victory lane for us. Do I have a good victory lane camera? No. Well, yes. Let's see. Aww. iRacing fenced it off. That's kind of lame. iRacing, but
That is.
that is. Some tracks you can do it, some tracks you can't, but we are going to get some post-race interviews lined up for you here, folks. Stick with us. In just a moment, we'll have some drivers here for you to interview. And again, thank you all for tuning in throughout this race. We got 5 likes on this stream. That's pretty good. Johnny Williams saying it was a heck of a race and a finish. I'm not going to quote you exactly, Johnny, but definitely was quite the race there toward the end. Oh,
with a very surprising winner there. Not that there's anything unskilled about Ethan Fisher, but he came in 2nd in heat number 2, and with looked like Canizaro and Freeman and Rubel would have been a little bit higher of contenders in this race, and they certainly were. They were in the beginning, but at the end, it was more of a Fisher and yeah, mostly just a Fisher race.
yeah, Ethan Fisher definitely came on strong in the end. He was there all night. Definitely came on strong toward the end, but we are going to get to talk to first our 3rd place finisher, Bobby Trapper in the number 69. You got a copy of us here in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it was a very exciting race there at the end. You gave us quite the show at the very end of that race. Came home in 3rd, but it was a really fun to watch battle for the 2nd place position there at the end of the race. Do you think you could have done anything differently to make that move happen or to get the race win?
Yeah, I wish to say I could have, but I mean, everyone up front in that top 5 was just really fast, and really no one making mistakes. It's just tough to pass. Just like you said, great race, and I think the only thing I could have did is avoided that wreck early and got up front a little earlier. But either way, it was a good race.
It was a really good race and a great run for you. We saw a lot of drivers, it seemed like, struggling with the handles just a little bit. Definitely a lot of drivers favored that higher lane. What was your experience out there on track tonight, and what were the conditions like you all were driving through?
Yeah, the track was pretty slick in the bottom and middle. It seemed like there's pretty much one groove that really worked. So it definitely was pretty hard to pass when we got to the back there. I think the slider line sort of worked a little bit in my favor, able to pin it down the bottom, getting in the corner and get around a few guys early. But once got up to the faster guys, definitely hard to beat the high line.
Yeah, definitely really challenge. I'm is one of those tracks I'm glad I was up here, not down there with you all. Of course, you all are much better dirt racers than me and Will here in the booth, but I mean, great showing. Next week though is Limeland. I'm not familiar with that track. I hope you are. If not, hope you will be by next Tuesday. But what are your thoughts going into Limeland, kind of digesting this race tonight too?
I'm definitely better at the short tracks. Limeland's definitely a lot smaller of a bouldering kind of track, so hopefully I could get back on pace here and get the car up to the front for the first time this season.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to it. We wish you good luck next week. Before we let you go, though, do you have any shout outs you want to give here while we're live here?
Yeah, I just got to thank TNR, Master Millwright, for putting on the series and everyone that runs it between Rubel and Freeman and Garrett over at TNR.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Again, congratulations on a great race. Put on a great finish for us, and we're glad to have you with us here in the booth, and best of luck to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Will, that was Bobby Trapper, your second place finisher here tonight. Next up, we're going to keep it going pretty quick, and we're going to pull up Thomas Oleski, your second place finisher here tonight at Knoxville. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
It was really quite a fun race to watch. We just talked to Bobby about it there at the end. You guys had a really good battle for the second place position there on the final lap. You managed to pull it out, but did you think you may have had anything for the race winner, Ethan Fisher, had that last restart gone a little bit differently?
I'd tell you about 7 laps ago, I had it locked in, but I was just talking to Ethan about that, how he caught me, and he said he was running up a groove, and I was just sticking to my pace, and I had a run come in there after he got by me, and I was just about to throw it. The caution came out, and I mean, I think it would have stuck, but shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
Yeah, well, definitely up there contending a lot late in the race. We saw a lot of drivers have strong runs here tonight. You were one of those drivers. I'm gonna ask you too. I asked Bobby about the track conditions because it seemed like you all were all over the place. He said it was really loose. What were your kind of thoughts about how the cars were driving here tonight?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was near the end, especially the last, I don't know, 15 laps. Car was real loose. There was really nothing on the bottom. There was a lot of track up top, but it still probably had another 50 laps to get run in before we got any further. But there was still a lot of room to race tonight. We were sticking them 2-3 wide at one point. I don't know. It was a good show, I thought, tonight.
And you came into this race second place in point. No, I'm looking at this wrong. You are now second place in points. After the standings have been updated, it looks like, to Bobby Trapper, who you finished third to. So you were up there, only 1 point behind the points lead. So can we look for more from that number 30 car next week to possibly get that race points lead? Excuse me.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said last week in the interview, I love Trap. Trap helps everybody with this iRacing stuff. I can't thank him enough for all this, but it's to beat Trap. Trap's number one. Got to get past him. Now that I'm second in points, I'll be here next week.
Yeah, well, we're wishing you the best of luck next week. But before we let you go, this is your time to give any shout outs if you've got any you want to give.
Yeah, to the Millwright guys for putting this on again. I mean, they were growing and growing each week. Couple cautions tonight. Bobby Trapper for all the help that he does with us, and Jonathan for the designs. Jonathan Gaston designs. I have a couple other cars that he did that we'll be presenting this season. So stay tuned.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And we're going to wish you the best of luck next week. And thank you for talking to us here.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You as well.
That was second place finisher tonight, Thomas Oleski. Strong run last week, another one this week. Will, it is time to bring up race winner Ethan Fisher, driver of the number 72, down here in Victory Lane with him. Made the quick run after that interview. And Ethan, you got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, it was really a great race there throughout. A lot of strong racing. You kind of snuck away, though, toward the end. Tell us about your race and the speed you had there in that number 72.
Yeah, I was feeling good running up on the top there. I kind of entering in the middle, sliding up and coming off a little lower, but it seemed like there was nothing on the bottom. You had to really throw a slide job to get by anybody, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we saw a lot of sliders out there tonight. A lot of aggressive racing too, especially toward the end. Was that kind of how you thought this race was going, where you had to be aggressive to make passes, or could you kind of be a little more patient and set yourself up for them?
You just had to wait for somebody to make a mistake and get a run on them and really just pull a slide job. That was really the only way to pass.
We saw a lot of slide jobs late. Did you get to throw a couple out there, and did you have fun racing here tonight at Knoxville? I know we had a ton of fun watching you all.
Yeah, it was fun. I threw a good one for the lead there. I'm surprised I made it stick. And I had a few thrown on me too, but it was a lot of fun racing.
Definitely fun to watch, fun racing out there. Next week, the series is headed to Limeland. What are your thoughts on that track, and do we think we could see you in Victory Lane again next week?
I hope so. That's my favorite track on the service. You really get running around the top toward the end there.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to seeing if you can get into Victory Lane. Thank you for stopping by, and if you've got any shout-outs you want to give while we've got you here in the booth, go ahead.
I'll give a shout out to my dad and my girlfriend Tabitha and Emery and Victoria.
All right, well, thank you for stopping by and talking with us, and congratulations again on your really strong win here tonight.
All right, thanks.
And that is going to do it for your post-race interviews, Will. Very exciting race here tonight. I'm glad that everyone could hear you in the booth. What are your thoughts here on what we saw tonight?
I'm glad too. And yeah, I loved it. Eric Fisher and his wonderful win there, completely beyond my expectations. I was really expecting, like I said, that Rubel would take another win, or at least another close win. So it was interesting to see Trapper, Oleski, and Fisher as the three in the top. But just as many cautions as the last time, just with my voice this time too.
Yeah, well, we're very glad we were able to hear your voice this week. And again, before we go, we got to give a huge shout out to the sponsors. Master Millwright, who's the title sponsor on the series, and also Mason-Dixon Cornhole. Both of those organizations sponsor this series. We're glad to have them, and we'll take you through the final race results here from tonight's race at Knoxville. Ethan Fisher takes home the win, and we had Craig Fisher in the chat too, saying, "That's my boy, great run, Ethan." Definitely a great run for him here tonight, getting his first win on the season, I believe. I'm going to check that before I leave it at that. Yes, it is. So win number 1 on the season for him. Thomas Oleski finished in the second position. Bobby Trapper third. We got to talk to all of them here tonight. In the fourth position was John Canizaro Jr. Fifth was Jason Freeman. Sixth was Tony Lucarelli. Seventh, John Smith. Eighth, Austin Allen. Ninth, RJ Packer. And 10th was Zane Burke. Seemed like we talked about a lot of those drivers up front here tonight. Then in the 11th position, Bobby Puckett. 12th was last week's race winner, Brian Rubel, who didn't quite have tonight go his way for him here. John Canizaro Sr. finished 13th. Ethan Gaston, excuse me, or Jonathan Gaston, excuse me. I messed it up twice. Finished 14th. Eric Bonham 15th. Eric Ziga 16th, and Loic, I'm sorry, Loic Bernier finishes in the 17th position. But that is our race here tonight, Will. A lot of great action. Again, do you have any closing thoughts before we go off air here tonight?
All I can say is I hope to do this again. This was a whole lot of fun. Thank you, Mitchell.
Well, again, thank you for coming up in the booth. I'm glad you got the chance to actually commentate this week. I had a ton of fun doing it with you. Again, thank you all for tuning in that watched. For myself, Mitchell Adams, and Will Radcliffe, and all of our partners here at the World Racing Network, I hope you all stay safe, have fun, and we are